Today we're looking at what is coming for Feast-Ember this year. We might even have a little boxy monster that we all love. Boxy? I don't know where that's come from. First of all, we need to go over this special epic variant, as this one, it actually holds so much in terms of what we can expect this year. Now, as you guys know, following along from the Amber Island sales, we can often work out which rare or epic fire is going to be coming next. And the next one is actually of significant importance. So if we have a look which ones came last year in November, we had among those monsters, Floogull. So epic Floogull is going to be the one that comes this Feast-Ember. But why is the epic Floogull so important? It is so important because it is the final epic monster that we need on Firehaven for us to get that one and behold, Firehaven epic Wubbox. Yes, another Wubbox is likely on the way, guys. Yes. It's been so long since an epic Wubbox, and I am ready, man. Given that Firehaven epic Wubbox is going to be possible and Feast-Ember and considering that this is Firehaven's event, it actually brings up the situation here: is Firehaven epic Wubbox going to come around? Now, Feast-Ember, looking 2 years ago, we got a Wubbox back then, and the fire event, Perplexed Boss 2, we often do see Wubbox variants coming along, and it honestly makes a lot of sense for it to come right now. Feast-Ember, it always has a major update, and rare Wubbox on Fire Oasis, it just doesn't seem to fill it in to me. We've only just had Wobbling Island rare Wubbox as well. It feels like the monster handlers are going to want to draw them back onto this epic variant. Now, the epic Wubboxes, all of them, every single one, as we know, they all have that iconic synth growl vocal sound. And I can't wait to make up some more fan lyrics. Honestly, it's been a while since we've been able to say that. The natural ones was so long ago. But the vocal hasn't changed between any of the islands. But with Firehaven's unique landscape, since I made my previous theories on all of the Wubbox variants, I couldn't help myself. I've been thinking inside of my head, what if they managed to change that for Firehaven? It's got such a dynamic landscape and set up to the point where I feel like this might even be an opportune time to do so. Incorporating some vocal hitters, S sounds, and wavering vocals to coincide with this flame percussion, likely with flames being aghast inside of the percussion, would be absolutely amazing. In my mind, it automatically goes back to Raw Zebra and Lycoad's prediction. The flames, the way they incorporated those inside of the vocals were absolutely just splendid. It is the epitome of what I would love from a Firehaven epic Wubbox. Let's take a listen to the sounds here. The mishmash of the fire and the way the vocals lend itself towards the flames and the build-up that it provides is so good. I love this ever so dearly. What I would absolutely love inside of this design, well, rather the sounds though too, is to have some crackling and sizzling sounds. And now, if you guys are looking at Lyco and Raw's design, every single one, as you guys know, all of these designs, they always have a furnace design. No matter where you look, and I can guarantee that this one is going to too. And just to encapsulate the flames though, I think it's so important we have that crackling and sizzling, considering as well what that could do to help build up the song, especially in the beginning where we lead into that tremendous section at the end. I would love that ever so dearly. We've had just so much awesome percussion from the epic Wubboxes. Look at them all on screen, man. Having some sizzling sounds, some really unique sounds with plastic bags, the monster handlers. Mash them, okay, lovely. I'm sorry, but you've got to get the plastic bags out. Maybe even bubble wrap. I'm sorry, I'm having you play with the most oddball items here, but those sounds, man, those would absolutely bring together this Wubbox and make it feel whole. Now, going back to all of these awesome sounds that we have on screen though, it feels customary to me to go back to Water Island epic Wubbox. That one, that is basically what I want from this in a weird sense. Unique kind of percussion that it's going to end up making. And just for that fact, I feel like it's a very good example of the kind of sound integration that I would love from this monster. As obviously the bubble pops are very akin to the sizzling and popping what you might get from fire. Now, Water Island epic Wubbox, it's not just akin to this Wubbox variant inside of my Phoebe brain though, just for this fact. It is because Water Island epic Wubbox, it also has 3 tracks. I cannot stop myself with Firehaven one. The Water Island one is the only one to have 3 tracks, right? Gold Island, it's in a league of its own, but Water Island, it's the only one to. But for Firehaven, I can't help myself. I want those 3 tracks, and I'm gonna theorize those 3 tracks right now. Okay. We have to have a track with Buzzinga, my precious little angel Buzzinga. We were going back to you later inside this video. I wonder why. Stay tuned. To shine some more light on Buzzinga's verse. I would love that so much. Buzzinga's verse is so good. Honestly, one of the best bits in Fire Haven. Obviously, the ending, you can't really be there, right? But that Buzzinga bit, I love it ever so much. And I want to see it come full forward, the amount of impact that I know that this verse can have, because it's such an amazing part inside of the song. It just needs some extra layering and some extra build towards that ending verse and making the song feel so much more whole. I feel it, I know it, and I want it. I know as well that Rare Wubbox, when that plays, it feels like that as well needs a bit more adding to layering again to help coincide with that build up. And that's also why Epic Wubbox is just absolutely amazing at. It usually has that epic building up percussion part whenever it has 2 tracks, right? It usually has that, and then also the vocal part, and then with Wubbox, they just got a bit crazy, right, with the ending bit as well. And added another one on top of that, but that is actually a really good point, because War Island Epic Wubbox, it helps differ that ending out a little bit more, and that is exactly what I want this one to do as well. But it also ties towards my big plan behind what I think this Epic Wubbox is eventually going to lead towards, which is a brand new verse for Fire Haven. You cannot tell me that this island, it is not going to have a new verse. This song is ripe to the rafters. I felt this when came along, the Earth Island Mythical. I was saying in my theories before that came, there is going to be another verse here. You can feel it, the sounds, it's ripe for this new edition, and I feel the exact same way towards Fire Haven. All these sounds, they are just absolutely amazing, but they could use being put elsewhere inside of the song. And this is where the Epic Wubbox is going to come and shine through. It's the perfect time to do it, man. It literally contributes so much towards the song, the Epic Wubboxers. It has the opportunity to add such a diverse track here to really differ out the ending, and perhaps add in that kind of flow, whatever the monster handlers choose to make that section up like. They can produce whatever feeling they want, because Epic Wubbox, it's already got so much energy and power to the point where it can just define that verse in a similar role to what did in that additional Earth Island one. And honestly, that just gets me so excited. I'd love for Buzzinga to play inside of that final verse again as well, because again, I just feel like that track doesn't play enough. But then I also listen to the Fire Haven song, and it actually plays through a lot of it, and then I realize how small Fire Haven song is. But hopefully that can be fixed this time around, because we want it, okay? Now, as for what this new verse could sound like, though, I'm going to play a concept on screen right now, so give it a listen, guys. My predictions for the sounds, absolutely amazing stuff that we are going to get from this Epic Wubbox. But what about the design? Now, as I've said, the community, it has spoken. The furnace design, it is everywhere, and you cannot tell me that this is not going to be a furnace. We've got to do furnace proud right now. You can't really do a fireplace or a campfire. Those are the other contenders towards what this design could be like, but even those, I don't feel like it's enough to warrant the amount of hype that a furnace would gather and the amount that you could do with it. It's just such a powerful structural landscape that you can alter in such a unique way and produce these awesome effects and sounds from it, in which I just find that you honestly just can't do anything besides the furnace. It's just, it's amazing, okay? Please bring on the flamethrower. We will fetch that baby out from our Wubbox of Theories. Everyone found this absolutely hilarious. Rare Wubbox is not going to stream this. No, you can go and cry in the corner instead. Anyway, bring out the flamethrower, bring it out, boys, and then okay. Bring out the flamethrower, animated fire all around itself, huge flashing moves and animations. Honestly, I want this to be a one-hand man showstopper. I've been thinking since Gold Island Epic Wubbox, how can we captivate on that kind of effect, that power, that immense showstopper-likeness that the Gold Island Epic Wubbox provides with its awesome transformations. There's honestly, you want to see that in all of them, right? You want to feel that immense amount of love and passion and just epicness, that epicness factor. That's what we're really trying to get at here. Just having flames mimicking all around itself and mimicking its sounds, and then having its furnace do it, and then also its mouth and the way its vocals mash with the instrumental percussion parts. As I was saying, maybe the voice flickers and wavers, and there's so much that I think the Firehaven landscape provides, not just for the instrument this time, but also for the vocal upon second thoughts here inside of this theory video. So I do hope that they delve into that a little bit more this time. The Big Wubbox particularly takes me back to that, because that was just such a less volcanic form of the Epic Wubbox, even though it's quite molten and it's even almost set on a volcanic-like island, Earth Island. They really did venture away from that just for this moment, I think, as this is really going to be where we do see those volcanic fire elements come through with the Firehaven Epic Wubbox design. And the law, oh my boys, Dulceta, oh my goodness, Dulceta, that Amber Island, well, Fire Colossal, it is absolutely going to be involved, I would predict, with the Epic Wubbox lore in this island. Oh my goodness, and the Living Core, all of the lore, oh boys, this one is gonna be a good one. Now you're probably wondering as well, what if MPG 5 Oasis Rare Wubbox comes along? Well, don't fret, I have decided I need to go over my theories for that one too. I'm not risking it like I did in Perplex for 2023. I won't forget that. I predicted the other Wubbox and then the other ones came, well, not this time. So the rare Wubbox for Fire Oasis, well, I wanted to tie towards what the island has always been about. It's been absolutely triumphant for this ever since the release of the thing. Literally every single update that comes along, I think it's going to turn its heels and do something else. I mean, bless Cherubble, right? That's the exception here. But every other one, no, you're just looking at the meme. It's very gobbledygook and mimic. They are the meme, and the rare Wubbox is going to be a meme. The memes are everywhere, and they cannot be stopped. I'm pretty sure I said that in my last video, but it's true. They're going to sing about the meme overload. It's going to be similar to Wubbling, the new lyrics and types. Oh, it was so good, the voice over there on Wubbling. We need to go back to that form factor. Do not revert to Firehaven. I do not like that much. I would love as well some memes. We need to know about Taco Bell, Moodeng the Hippo. I need all the meme ideas in them comments down below, guys, as well. And as well, for the lyrics behind this, I've come up with some fan ones, just in case. Now, do keep in mind, I'm just having a bit of fun here, okay? But that is what, this is along the lines of the kind of fun what we can expect. Well, I suppose. Right, anyway. Blew up a ship. I've got the drip. Rare Wubbox in the house. Let the beat flip. Yeah, yeets. And I say, It's gonna also, I think, Rare Wubbox on Fire Away. It's gonna play with Mimic and Gobbledygook, the two meme stars. Oh no. That section is just so goofy, and that vocal, that is just the cherry on the top, man. And as well, it just feels made for the monster. The song almost comes to a standstill, a little gap almost, where it feels like a little bit more is needed there. You can tell it was almost planned out, as literally Wubbox plays, and then there's a gap, and then Wubbox plays again. It almost feels like it is being made for it in that little section there. So I do expect it to come there. And with its animations as well, just get funky, do the meme. So, I mean, maybe don't go as far as the Rare Wubbox Fortnite dance. I mean, that might be taking it too far. Honestly, my reaction to that would be some popping out eyes action there, that gif, right? I mean, Rare Wubbox and phone. I know I'm doing the memes absolutely like crazy here, but it cannot be stopped. Just put the SpongeBob meme on as well. Just wow, meme overload right there. That is the true meaning of what this Rare Wubbox is going to be. Now, a question as well, now escaping from the Wubboxes now, a question what I have been debating inside of my head is, when are the baby mythicals going to arrive? So we've just had Gajoob and Yarstridge, they came in Anniversary, quite notably. Back in 2019, they also arrived in Anniversary back then in the main game. So that has me thinking that in the seasonal events that these mythicals were first seen is when we are going to see them. However, this brings about a little bit of an oddball, shall we say, of all of them. As Cherubble and Buzzinga, it's a bit unclear when these two are specifically are going to arrive. And for that reason, one of these, we could see them inside of Feast-Ember. It's a little bit unknown. We are approaching the unknown territory. I would expect when we do see these in Dawn of Fire, alongside them, we will get the epic counterparts inside the main game. That's just such an awesome pairing to have, one happening in the main game and one happening in Dawn of Fire. That is definitely something that they will end up doing, but it's just a question now of when these two might arrive. And seeing as though Cherubble arrived in Feast-Ember, it does bring to question, could they? And Buzzinga's obviously a part of Firehaven where Feast-Ember is celebrated, so one of these could end up coming, man. So let's go over a little bit of the predictions for them. Now, both of these, the first thing that you automatically want, obviously, is for them to go in the ending verse. Just be there forever as well, and I will love you, okay? And Buzzinga, just Buzzinga, I will love you. Buzzinga, it must play with Candelabra and Tusky too before the finale verse. That verse, it carries the kind of feeling that Buzzinga is just so excellent at excelling inside of. It has that layering, it has that emotional tone that you just know that Buzzinga would absolutely make a remarkable impact on. It just needs to do basically what it does on Mythical Island here. I am not gonna lie, it needs to come along, it needs to play before the ending, like what it does on Mythical, and then it needs to come along and make that ending a little bit more emotional, and that little subtle sound towards the ending that really just makes you cry and emotional, and love that verse ever so much. Not that it isn't my favorite verse in the entire series already. I mean, I love that for some reason so much. It is my favorite verse ever in any song ever. I feel it's like it just needs to do what it does best. It needs to come along, it needs to bring that emotional feeling, that multiplying effect of emotions that Buzzinga just seems to bring about when it is added to any song. Just bring on the tears, man. I love the emotional depth that its instrument has, and I can't wait for it to be added. And collaborating with Cherubble is gonna be magnificent. Cherubble, if it's that final verse so well, I picture it to, instead of being like Mythical Island there, being a bit like Fire Oasis, where it'll come in the ending, have maybe 2 tracks, help differ out that ending verse as well. Bowhead, it does a bit of that already, but there's a lot of sameness in that ending right now, and it plays a few times, so I would love to see Cherubble help differ that out. Bowhead, Cherubble, and Buzzinga, just such a magnificent trio that I feel like are going to be formed inside of that. I want a trio of those, and those are going to be absolutely amazing collaborating together, and the amount of harmony that they are going to bring, it's just going to make such an emotional impact that we've never felt before from this series, which is just so exciting. It's going to really tug at your heart strings, literally, because string instruments, okay. Right, anyway, Cherubble, it's just gonna be so cute baby insect, cute baby slug, cuteness overload. Yarstridge and Gajoob, they were already just wow, absolutely amazing additions towards the continent. My expectations are just honestly so high for whenever these two do drop. But Buzzinga, let's take a look at my little precious one. So I've got up on screen a design by Balfree Eorc Zero. They have come up with a cute Baby Buzzinga, my precious angel, I need you. I hope it does come in Feast-Ember. My heart will be so full. I won't believe it, Buzzinga. the little harp that they have drawn towards the side of them, I love how it's almost too big for them, and they are almost struggling. I can imagine them having a lot of fun animations to play around with that. I love how they've also pictured them in mid-flight here, I believe. I'd love to see Buzzinga fly. It would add such a dynamic aspect in comparison to the main game and allow them to use an element that they have never even had before. It's such a good design. They've even drawn them sleeping, and honestly, please, I need cuteness. And then we got Riles as a baby Cherubble design as well. We got the little flubber flies towards the back. Am I saying that right? Maybe not. But we have those critters towards the back, and they are playing amongst the lovely harps. Cherubble, obviously, fast asleep, snoring. Would love to see what it looks like muted when it finally opens its eyes. The little dummy. I love how it's also heart-shaped, the dummy, too, seeing as though Cherubble is just all about those love hearts as well. But speaking about the epic Wubbox and rare Wubbox, another storm might be brewing. Now, with those Mirror Magical Islands, you guys might have noticed that they basically confirmed the Fire Magical Islands. Mirror Light Island, it took away from the trend that the price tag sets. So we had all of the natural Mirror Islands that went up by 100 diamonds. Then we had the Mirror Magical ones, which left out 600 diamonds as a price tag. And then they continued to go up by 100 diamonds. So this implies that we are going to be getting Mirror Fire Islands as we initially did theorize. And it is very likely, therefore, if we tie back to our theories, that yes, this is going to be tied towards the supernatural elements, which would be absolutely perfect to release now if we are getting a Wubbox. We've just had the Mirror Magical Islands and also Wubbox coming around at this time. It feels like it'd make a lot of sense to release it now when you've got this supernatural theme for Fire Haven and Fire Oasis. Going back to the supernatural element, how do we know that it's linked to that? Well, every single element inside of the game is supposed to have a connection towards another one. So all of the natural ones linked to the ethereal ones, and then the fire one, it links to the supernatural element. As for what these could look like though, I want to pull up the concept art for Fire Haven. Now this design, this is exactly what I would love to see be utilized for the mirror variants of these islands. Look, you've even got one lighter and one darker. I mean, man, these just are absolutely supernatural themed as well, and they are such cool designs. The weird dark ambience of these definitely captivates on the supernatural themes, and the lightning or whatever that they might put in the background would be awesome with these. You just can tell that these would be perfect, man, to be integrated. So I really do hope that they use both of these designs. I love the dark one and the robe or cloth floating down from the island towards the side. The feathers, just so different. Please, just use these. I don't want anything else, to be honest. I'm ready for them. Wow. Now, going back to our wonderful Floogull, though, epic Floogull. Rare Floogull was actually one of my favorite rare fires. It was up there with Rare Wallaby. I'd place it as being second, man. I can't imagine, therefore, what epic Floogull is going to be like. The rare variant, it already looked like an epic to me in a weird way. And with this being one of the final Fire Haven variants, I just can't help but want ever so much for this to embrace the lore of Fire Haven. It's got so much lore, right? Everyone always goes back to the other islands, but honestly, maybe Fire Haven has the most lore out of them all. Ooh. The underground, the living core, it has so many locations tied to it and opportunities for this design to be based off of it. Reka and Lavra's design, it took off of the underground, which is one of the locations, basically all of the caverns outside of Fire Haven. But the living core, which Fire Haven is inside of, we need a design to be based around that. And I feel like Floogull, with it being a weird anti-to mashup, a more volcanic, warm hue design, maybe some whites as well, alongside the reds, oranges, would be absolutely perfect for this. And honestly, I can't help but go back towards the design of the Fire Haven bat critter. It's based on an Honduran white bat, and it just seems like it's absolutely perfect for Floogull, man. The long horn, and then the snout, the really cute one that the critter has. It would be just so cute. The darker shade of eyes. This fan art by Morph on Reddit that I found just made me go, yep, that is the design that we want right now. They featured what the critter could look like in a monster/human-like form, and I just think that this kind of a design, but represented on Epic Floogull, will be absolutely amazing. And the lore we could get from this tied towards the living core, I can't. This feels like such a good opportunity. The rare's wings have them on it as well again, and instead of having 4 arms, have it have 4 legs like what Morph has represented here, and the 2 arms just spin off of things like that, man. And for Epic Floogull, we have this designed by LeenDeeJay. They have made, oh my goodness, they have made the cutest Floogull design. They've basically around a flamingo. Again, this is actually quite a warm hued tone. Flamingos, they honestly might not be necessarily as associated with volcanoes and as such, but I think they definitely have that kind of atmosphere to fit that temperament. I love the wings and the way they have embraced them in a similar way to rare Floogull and gave it almost like a cape fashion, looking at the back of them with the little ones sprouting out at the back. I love that, and the little cuffs. Oh, the feathers that come from this as well. It looks so pretty. I like this a lot. I want a really pretty one. And then also going in game, we have a promotion. We have the Getting Warmer promotion akin to the teaser that we had for Fire Expansion last year. Kind of set up for that again once more, but we have a Candelabra costume towards the back. If we zoom in here, you can see Candelabra's eye poking out with a Gobligod-esque styled costume there. Now, interestingly with this teaser, if you look towards the bottom, you will notice a foot poking out. Now, this foot, I do believe, is tied towards Candelabra's foot. If you compare the two, it looks like it is almost a Gobligod representation of a Candelabra foot. Now, many people might point this out as being a Floogull foot, but if you compare the two, I just don't see the connection. I believe that this foot is tied towards the Candelabra costume, as is trying to aim to be Gobligod, and it's quite likely that its feet might be mashed up in a really weird sense here. Quite weird that the foot is poking out there. Might be hinting towards something else, man, but interesting to point out there. Such cute little guys, and I love Buzzinga. I love Floogull, and this is gonna be a cuteness over. Now, I do apologize today. I'm actually having a lot of issues in my editing software. It keeps coming up with an error, and no one on any support team anywhere. I've actually been experiencing this for like a year now, but it has got to the point where I can't really edit that well. So I did have to make this a very simplistic theory video, but I hope you all enjoyed it. I love the theories, and I had to come on anyway. I love you all so much. I can't wait for Feast-Ember. Now, do keep in mind that I have watched the most recent monster video that they've put out on the Mythical Monsters channel, and it says that Feast-Ember is going to be not as big this year. I'm not sure what exactly that means. I still wanted to do theories as it's just fun, man, but I'm not sure what exactly we might be getting this year. I mean, Epic Floogull already. Just give me that and make it cute, and I'll be happy. Anyway, Buzzinga, sorry. Buzzinga, just give me Buzzinga as well. Right.